Thank you all, and glad to be here. Bonjour tout le monde. I'm replacing my DG, Dr. Ali Abu Sabah, who is in another meeting with the 1CG. And I want to say that here I am talking on behalf of my colleagues, especially Solomon Asefa and Zodi Bisho, who is also online. And of course, all the partners with whom we are working in the public and private sectors in the countries. And I want to thank, of course, the African Development Bank for supporting this TAAT Week compact. The presentation is about the 3 questions, and as you will see, the 2 questions is a clear yes, and the second question is the third question will be yes, we can, probably a bit more going further. So the WIT Compact is a typical example of a compact led by national policies and markets to reach self-sufficiency in wheat in Africa with a transformational impact. So it's about scaling rapidly the available technologies, especially related to varieties, but also irrigation management, at least in the irrigated part, of course, and soil management. With objective of food security, economic growth, and poverty alleviation through value-added transformation. So there are, let's say, 3 components plus 1 that I had, which is not, I think would require more discussion. The first one is scaling up and enhancing adoption of proven wheat technologies. And as I said, wheat technologies is about wheat varieties, seed systems, and good agronomy and processing. The second one is to expand the domestic wheat production and commercialization towards wheat self-sufficiency. This is a clear target of most countries in the case of wheat, but this has to relate to the 4th point. I will come back. Spearheading widespread transformational impact in terms of raising productivity, global production at country level, farmers' income, value addition in the value chain, and job creation. And I had in a sustainable manner, because I think it's very important that even if the compound is driven with a market approach, but it is also driven by a sustainability approach. So improving water productivity to use as less water when possible, improving soil fertility. And this means also, even if the compact is about wheat, we have to consider the other crops that are in rotation, which can contribute to farmers' income and also to closing the yield gap of the wheat. So as already said, it's clearly a market and demand driven, both from the country level and from the farmers level. For the first question about commercialization of agricultural research, as I said, the TAAT Week Compact is deeply grounded in seed systems. So the trigger of the innovation is really new varieties of wheat, which are heat, drought tolerant with some quality criteria, resistance to some pests and disease. To commercialize a variety, in the case of the CG Center, we operate for the production of public goods. So we have a large gene banks, and we have one of the largest gene bank in the world, together with CIMIT in terms of wheat, but we also have gene banks in barley, food, legumes, and forage crops. Here the question is to make these gene banks, this wide genetic variability available, but also do it in such a way that we can produce from public goods, that we can produce some private development. So there is a whole set of questions about variety development, variety release, and delegation of varieties to the private sector. So I won't detail this, but I think it's a very critical aspect if we talk about commercializing variety in the context of public research, like in the CGIAR. So just some numbers about of varieties that we have developed globally, but I will focus on the last 2 points. We have already helped the NAR systems to release 30 heat tolerant, high yielding and high grain quality wheat variety through the TAAT project and the previous project, which was the SARDC, because it takes time to develop varieties. So I don't go into the details, but you have the names of the countries and the number of wheat variety that have been released. One also important point is this variety, together with a proper agronomic management, showed a very strong increase in productivity. This has an effect, of course, both for the farmers, but also when aggregated at country level. So you have also an indication here of the impact of the TAAT wheat compact, reaching more than 900,000 tons by the end of 2019. And we've, of course, as I said, some induced aspects on income generation, job creation, and empowering women. The second question was about the market system approach for rapid technology adoption. So here I will insist, and a lot of has already been said, and also I try to follow the chat as well, and there are very good points that we would need to discuss. So here's the approach as the innovation platform approach, where we put together different stakeholders, farmers, national systems, education, research team, farmers organization, extension agencies, local and national decision makers, together with the private sectors, include supplier, manufacturers, service provider, credit agency, but also the NGO working in this same domain. So I'm not going to detail, I mean, it's a well-known concept, but basically it's made to do some co-creation. But of course, co-creation in this case is about the wheat-based cropping systems and value chain. So it has been proved to be very valuable and a good forum to engage stakeholders, all the stakeholders that I've shown, and to trigger some rapid scaling and value-added creation. So if just to give some numbers, we in the TAAT wheat now we have 37 functional innovation platform across 7 target countries, with 47 youth or women business group, about 1,000 members, 30% are women, which are trained and engaged in innovative wheat agribusiness, either in wheat grain production, seed production, or value addition through bakery, pastries, and also farm machinery related to that, because I should have said mechanization of the wheat production is an important part. So over 17,000 farmers, youth and women have been trained with more than 100 field days organized. So these are really very encouraging signs on the current achievement of the compact and also on the potential to expand it more rapidly. And as I said previously, from this innovation platform, 45 new varieties and associated technologies for mechanization and crop management and water management have been promoted. 56 private and public seed companies and cooperatives have been engaged with us in the seed system. And you have some numbers here about the level of seed production and the number of farmers which have been reached and which so far are above 1.5 million. The third question, I said it's a yes, we can, in the sense that, of course, this has to come when the system is in place, when the innovation system is in place, and to engage at this level. We have, maybe I will go directly to the last one to save some time. The idea here is just a summary. The graph is just a summary let's say, of the different points or entry points in which we think there is already, and there can be more opportunities for entrepreneurship and youth and women involvement, especially. So basically, the idea that it can be at all levels, even if so far it can be more on the wheat grain value chain, either in the production with clustered farmers cooperative, farmers association, on the wheat marketing, on the aggregation, storage, logistic, and on the agro processing. And of course, the services which are supporting that in the agri-services, seeds, fertilizer, agrochemical, finance, and also the rural infrastructure related to that. But basically, the idea is this is providing a framework in which we think there can be now an expansion of the entrepreneurship activities, provided the enabling mechanisms are there, I mean, especially in terms of funding. So I will stop here because I think we are short. I also, yeah, as I said, I would have loved to discuss when I see all the points mentioned in the chat. I've tried to address some of them, but you have my email, and you can contact me if you have any question.
There's an issue on policy. How does that support the transformation and industrialization process?
Well, let me stop my... Yeah, I think it's a very important question, and it's important that we do not start deploying technologies if the policy context is not conducive to such type of policy first. So I think the TAAT is a good example of we can start deploying the technology because there is in several countries in Africa, at least, there is a national policy to reach self-sustainability, and which is supported also by private and public actors. But also probably to influence policy while we do that. One of the points I mentioned, for example, is I think it's, I like very much the TAAT Compact. It was not developed by me because I arrived recently in ICARDA. But I like the approach which is market-driven, community-based, because it can make a difference rapidly when policy are conducive. But I think we also have to influence policy in the sense that, as I said, the sustainability of wheat production cannot rely on monocropping of wheat. So we have also to promote diversified crop rotation, so other value chain in the same time. And this may have a feedback on other policies, such as water management or nutrition policies. Thank you.